everyone, so this video is going to be about my end of February updates. There hasn't been much time since the last video, but there's a lot of activity going on, so I'd like to share that with you guys. Okay, so the first thing is my Chysis laevis. Previously it was hanging at the window, but I moved it here because I think it needs more light. You can see here the latest growth is quite skinny, and I'm really trying to improve this year. So that's why I move it here. It's under T5, so I think this will be a bit better. So in the same vein, I also moved my Doricentrum Pulcherrimin here as well because I do believe it needs more light. If you're wondering why there's water in the tray there, it's because the humidity here is quite low, especially with the heaters going on. So I know it's generally not a good idea to leave water in the tray, but because there's such a low humidity and the air is very dry, I don't think it's a problem. It'll help keep the roots a bit more moist overall. So this is my Bulbophyllum sulawesii, and it's growing that new growth there. So this is my Ctsm cross. It's getting bigger and the roots are getting longer, but it's still not yet ready to be watered. I think soon though. So this is my FDK After Dark SVO Black Pearl, and looks like it's just starting a new growth there. Another thing that's changed is I moved my Stanhopea gibbosa to the window here. It used to be hanging here, but I noticed that the previous growths weren't as good, so I think it needed more light, which is why I moved it here. And you can see now that the new growth is getting bigger. And let's take a moment to appreciate these blooms. Honestly, this show is not that great, but it's a beautiful color. I remember why I bought this now. So this is my Paphinia rugosa, and as you can tell, this new growth looks different than this new growth, and I suspect this new growth is not a new growth but actually a flower or a flower spike. I'm really hoping this guy actually matures and I get to see a flower. I think that'd be really nice. So this is my Plectrophora alata, and as you can see, it finally has a new growth. I actually found this by accident because I had watered it one day and I put it down for it to dry. I accidentally tipped it over and it fell out of the pot, and I have a bad habit of wanting to strip the outer husks, I guess you can call it, or like the dead leaves, which is generally not a good thing, especially considering that in the past I've destroyed eyes on my plants, and while doing that I found this guy with a new eye coming, so I was very lucky not to have disturbed that. This is my Dendrobium bellatulum, and it is in bud. I find that this plant is a very reliable bloomer, but I haven't had much growth on this guy, so I'm hoping to change that this year. Also, it's a bit hard to tell on camera, but there is another bud right there. This is my Rodriguezia lehmanii, and it's doing pretty well. I think last time I showed these roots branching, and they're branching out a lot longer now. The new growth has gotten a lot bigger, and its root is growing nicely. This is my Polycycnis barbata, and its new growth is doing pretty awesome. This is my Aerides odorata, and the interesting thing is this little guy has a new leaf growing. This is my SLC World Vacation Shibuya Sunset and has a new growth there. And this is my Oncidium Twinkle Yellow Fantasy. It has two new growths there and one there, right there. And I noticed that this spike dried up, but this one didn't. So I suspect this one will branch out a little bit and I'll get a bit more flowers. This is my Brassavola cucullata, and its new growth is growing pretty nicely. This one was the previous growth, so I'm hoping it's going to do better than this one. This is my Ionocidium popcorn Haruri. I've had a bit of leaf loss on this back growth here, and I've noticed that the leaves are turning a bit yellow, so I think this guy needs to be fed. I haven't fertilized for a while because I was pretty heavy-handed earlier this year, but definitely going to start doing that now again. This is my RLC Durigan and has a new growth starting. This is my RLC Little Toshi. Its new growth is getting nice and fat. My only concern is that it's growing directly under this leaf and upwards, so I'm not sure what's going to happen. Hopefully it'll just kind of move to the side. This is my LC Supersonic Striking Lip. Its new growth is also getting nice and fat. So this is my Vanda Rodriguezia. As you can see, the leaf is cut off, and that's because I found a kind of dried up spot on the leaf. I wasn't quite sure what that was. I'll insert a clip here showing you what I saw. Like I said, I wasn't sure what it was, but just to be safe, I decided just to cut it off. So that's done. One interesting note, when I cut the leaf off of this, it smelled like cucumbers. And this is my Galeotia fimbriata. It's growing really nicely, and it's really starting to push roots down into the pot. So this is my Dendrobium scabrilingu, and it's in bud. I have at least 3 buds here. This is my Ascocentrum ampullaceum, and there appears to be a spike starting there. And this is my Ascocentrum miniatum, and it started growing a new leaf again. Okay, so that's my video for today. If you are in the Vancouver area, March 24th and 25th, the Vancouver Orchid Society is having a show and sale. So please come by and enjoy the show. I hope you enjoyed my video, and thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.